Welcome everybody. So today we're going to continue with one of the elements of art. We're looking at shape. So shape is a closed line. It's two-dimensional. It has height and width. Make sure you're highlighting as we go through this. So a closed line just basically means if you're drawing a line and it goes and loops back onto itself, this section in here, that is a shape, okay? Because you can measure how tall it is and you can measure how wide it is. So the different types of shapes that we're going to be looking at geometric and organic, and some things about those shapes that we're going to look at is static and dynamic. So for a geometric shape, so that is a shape such as a triangle or rectangle that can be defined precisely by mathematical coordinates and measurements. So here is a geometric shape. So in your box over here, go ahead and draw at least 3 other geometric shapes, okay? Now, technically a circle is a geometric shape because you can define that mathematically, okay? So the next one up is organic. So an organic shape is one you can measure how tall and how wide. So we know it's a shape, but it's either free form or irregular. It's the opposite of a geometric shape, right? So that could be a cloud. It might be a leaf. Like if you're drawing, you know, a leaf, that would count as something that you could measure how tall it is and you can measure how wide it is, but it's still really flat. But it's also something that's not easily defined by math. So the next thing is kind of placement of those things can create a static composition or a dynamic composition. So static just means that it's showing no movement or action. So like right here, these are all kind of static. So if it looks like it's not moving, right? So like if I drew a teapot and I was like, here is my teapot, and I drew a teapot like this, that is a pretty static teapot because it's fairly flat on the bottom, right? Like it kind of matches the base. Now, if I wanted to create something that was dynamic, so dynamic means constantly changing or moving in a state of imbalance or tension. So really it doesn't have to actually move, but if it implies movement, if it makes you think that it might move, then that would be dynamic. So instead of having something like, I could still make a teapot, but if I make a teapot where the base looks like this, and maybe like this is the handle over here, and you've got a little lid up top here, because this is moving, like it makes your eye flow around the composition, that is a dynamic composition. It's not flat against the ground. There's some negative space in here and things look like they're tilting or moving or angling. All right, so make sure you've got it highlighted. Make sure you have your own drawing in each of these boxes and have the best day you can. Thanks everybody.